But Pilates is both conditioning and mobility work, and you're strengthening and lengthening at the same time. So it sounds very like there's a lot of things simultaneously happening. So you're really working on, say, like the little muscles that support the bigger muscles. I'd like to say that it's probably one of the first kind of physical therapy kind of workouts, so to say. I don't want to say that it's you're going slow and whatnot, because you can walk out of it just drenched in sweat. But it's great conditioning work. It's great strengthening. As I said, you're working on the little muscles to help support the bigger muscles. When you have a great instructor, you kind of learn what your strengths and weaknesses are and then how to balance it out. The benefits, definitely, it's like if you have had a herniated disc, you can do, strengthening exercises for that. And just, as I said, conditioning. It's also like just keeping your body back to feeling normal and aligned. If you've broken a hip, it's great to take Pilates. It's also like anything broken or sprained, and there's you kind of lose that mind body connection, because it's like with the second you injure something, you get very hyper aware and cautious because you don't want to do anything again. And Pilates is that great way to kind of get that mind body connection back, which is amazing. Pretty much any injury, it is one of the best workouts to get into to kind of get back into your routine. One of the starting workouts is usually you lie down on your back and you have these like shoulder pads that like or I don't want to say force, but it basically keeps your shoulders away from your ears. So you have that long neck. And then there's this foot bar that you have your heels on, and then you're just creating this 90-degree angle with your legs to your hip. And so automatically in that, there's no pressure on your knees. There's no pressure on your legs because you're not standing. You're not, gravity's not pulling you down. You're not holding yourself up. So because everything is, since it is condition work, instead of say like, any just fitness in general, if you're doing any conditioning work, you use a lot of resistance training. So it's either TheraBands, any like rubber bands, if you've done PT or what, I'm sure you've seen them, even in yoga. I think maybe. No, I don't think in yoga they use it, but anyway, the bands. But then with Pilates, there's like the machines are spring loaded. So for that, instead of like the TheraBands, you have the springs for the resistance training. So with that, you're lying on your back, you press through your heels, you're immediately engaging your glutes, taking any pressure out of your knees, and kind of just like feeling, again, one of the bigger muscles, which are your glutes, helping to support you. So you're getting out of like, you're taking the weight out of your knees, you're taking the weight out of your hips. So it's like that. Yeah. So anything going on with your legs, it's a great way to like kind of take the weight and take the pressure off. Pilates teaches you how to breathe. And if you are someone who loves to stress out, it gets you to breathe again, basically. Breathing with your movement, again, getting the mind, body, and breath going together. You can never go wrong with the basics, as I like to say. Even for how long I've been doing it, a beginner class is still difficult for me because you find new ways to work. And even then I catch myself like my shoulders are coming up because I'm like, oh God, just, so it's just, yeah. So even the simple exercises it's still hard. So even I feel everyone says this as someone who's been doing it for so long, you will forever be a beginner in Pilates. Pilates is one of those exercises that you'll forever be a beginner.